right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are back to playing Fragged Empire. And I forgot to decide how we're going to start today. So let's do... I liked what we did last time. You have to earn your grit points. So everyone go ahead and put yourselves at -3 grit points. And then... No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh.
Everyone can have 1 grit point, 1 grit reroll. And then you got to tell me something that happened that you remember from last time, and we'll kind of go from there. So Zatek, go. Something you remember, go.
I remember being able to make it through security, not on my finances, which are probably non-existent, or my social status, which is also probably non-existent, but through my good looks that I body morphed
sweet Zhou
into.
ass. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Absolutely. Okay,
great.
Excellent. Take a point. Maya, give me something.
The thing that I have not been able to stop thinking about, disgraced streamer,
Yeah. Disgraced
and
streamer,
Divine Mocha.
Divine Mocha.
Yes.
Hey, nothing divine about this streamer. Okay. Do you remember the name of the person who has taken your place?
Vanilla. How could I forget?
Stupid. That was both the easiest and the stupidest name to pull, like as your opponent.
It's
okay.
so great.
Take a point back. Dr. T, what's something you remember from last time?
Why are you delaying me from getting my cake?
There you go. Okay, you can take one. Yes, there is cake, and it's not a lie.
Cake.
There actually is cake. There was cake in the message. Dr. T found himself getting summoned to the Nephilim embassy on official business by Deacon Ottawa, and with the promise of cake, and that you could bring your underlings too, and you brought one of them, so that's fun. Melissa's studying. Look at her. Look at her notes. Jita, give me some. Oh, by the way, Dr. Jacob, of course. Go ahead, Jita. Give me one. Give me something.
So the artist is Deo, who is
That's
the
right.
Trifar artist. That
true.
Jita wants to go see their show and looked at their statue,
Okay.
their sculpture that was outside.
Yes, you found a sculpture outside in the streets of Alabaster 1. And again, they're space stations, but you're literally walking through like Manhattan. It's like massive skyscrapers, like artificial sky, all that kind of stuff. And then some of you are going in the sewers because that's what Zatek does. Okay, Gina, take a point. Kill. Give me something you remember from last time around.
You know, it's a little embarrassing to admit, but apparently once under an alias of Basin Jorn, I might have tried to kill Maya's mom. As you do.
That's correct. That's correct. 1 point. 1 point back. We don't know. Were you trying to kill Maya's mom? Were you trying to kill Darcy Octanto? Who are you trying to kill? Were you trying to kill them both? Who knows? But we'll find out maybe at some point, or maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, that's a point back for Kill. And you know what? We're going to do a snake draft. Give me another one, Kill. Go.
Oh, man. Well, to kind of get back at Infernal Vanilla, we watched her like trying to advertise a tie. So we then had Hard T mimic that and posted that in response.
That's right. And I think you guys rolled terribly too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's really
But hopefully it's so bad
video.
it's fun.
It could be one of those. Jita. Give me another one.
Yes. So in further examining the crystals that we found, we discovered that all of them were Mondian areas.
That is correct. All of them were systems known to be either inhabited by, explored by, or marked for exploration or inhabitation by the Mondian Empire. Absolutely. Take a point, and Kill, obviously, you could have taken a second point as well. Dr. T, give me something else you remember.
I shocked someone by my telling them about my work for the nonprofit organization.
Yes.
Now, this is where my memory is fuzzy. It's Doctors with Tentacles. Was that
Doctors
right?
with Tentacles. No, it's Doctors with Tentacles, isn't
Tentacles
it?
Without
No,
Borders.
Tentacles Without Borders.
Tentacles Without Borders. Is that what it is?
They're both good names.
Yeah.
Tentacles. Okay, Tentacles Without Borders. Jeez, that's way creepier. Holy God.
Yeah, it's way worse.
That's so
That's
much
why
creepier
it's
than
the right
Doctors with
choice.
Tentacles. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Okay.
Tentacles Without Borders. That's
Tentacles Without
Because
Borders.
you can't
All right.
stop them.
You
can't stop them.
It works
They don't
perfectly
respect
with his
international
invasive
law.
medical practices. So I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Both physical borders and, just personal space, boundaries, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take another one, Dr. T. Maya, give me one more.
Sorry, my dog is losing a shake. Give me just a second.
Okay, we're going to Zatek. Zatek, give me one more.
Yeah. Zatek is trying to get a new body for his old mentor, Sateus.
That's
Did
true.
some research on it and found that the Flesh Inc. bots may or may not have stolen some of the Palantor tech
Palantor parts,
at some point, and people are kind of rumoring that you might be able to interface the two. So that is what is fueling Zatek on his venture to become a business.
And Flesh Inc. is like the only, as far as if I recall correctly, the only non-corp owned and operated and run like major corporation within the corp. So it's like Nephilim basically. So, okay, take another point. Fantastic. I did even some more work into Palantor stuff, so I know some more answers and things if you have more questions. Back to Maya, who used her dog as an excuse to delay and try to look up an answer.
Sorry.
So go ahead, Maya.
I studied the datapad, and now I know some basic ancient Mondian.
That's true. You know a little bit of a couple different Mondian dialects. Absolutely. Okay.
Excellent. I can ask where the bathroom is.
You can. And where is the library? Like, where is the biblioteca? Don't get those confused, because you're going to be treated differently if you start taking a shit in the stacks. That would be really bad. Anyhow. Okay. So all of you are up to your 3 grips. Other things, Dr. T, you found a microscopic implant in the brain of a severed Mondian head that suggested the Mondians were working on some kind of genetic memory similar to the Kaltorans. They were trying to engineer it in some fashion. Maya, we already talked about the language. Jita, like you said, the nav crystals, the tech. You learned a second song from that little orb that seems to be some kind of sonic array. No one has studied that machine/toy thing. No one's really sure about that. That hasn't been looked at. You parked the ship in a rental bay on Alabaster 5. You took a commuter transport to Alabaster 1. Correct? Yeah, Alabaster 1. And you had that weird odd time going through trying to justify your presence. Apparently Kill is going to go generationally bankrupt if he stays here too long or something like that. Let's see. Zatek, you saw an advertisement for business startups and you headed to the Rusty Cog, a tavern hidden in the maintenance tunnels below the skyscrapers of the city, and you met a man by the name of Jacob Flint, a Kaltoran who has many, many talents. Jita, you found the art display and you're heading to go see Deo at the Gilded Dividends. Maya had a very embarrassing sequence of events. She saw Octanto had sent her a potential collaboration idea a couple months back while you guys were in your hypnos situation. When you tried to reach out to them to see what's up, you kind of got thrown out of the Octanto headquarters, and it was all live streamed, leading to your disgraced status. And Dr. T, as we already mentioned, got a priority Nephilim embassy summons from Deacon Ottawa. All right, so let's start up. We're going to start up with some of the solo people. So we're going to start up with Zatek. Zatek, we are in this tavern, the Rusty Cog. Now, the name suggests that it is this rundown, terrible place. It is absolutely not that, but compared to some of the things you saw when you were on the surface, these massive skyscrapers, everything polished, here it's a little bit more down to earth. There is kind of a malfunctioning still, but everyone is still sort of dressed up in suits. You're probably the least well-dressed person. Even Jacob Flint, who you're currently sitting across, this Kaltoran, does, now that you're sitting across from him, is wearing a suit. You can see he's got like coveralls over top of it that are stained with, various fluids and such from repairing this still. But nonetheless, he is staring at you, and he has probably just recently said something along the lines of, "So tell me a little bit more about the business that you want to that you're looking to start up. Tell me a little bit more."
Yeah, it's a business that makes a body for my friend that's a Palantor.
Oh, well, you want to make bodies for Palantor. Okay, yes. Well, that is a very ambitious business plan.
Thank you.
Well, are you familiar with that whole process of how those bodies are crafted? You yourself are not a Palantor. I know you folks are kind of friendly and such, but are you familiar?
My friend's a Palantor.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
why aren't they? Right, yeah, exactly. You got to get the quantum code stuff, the positon. Yeah, those are very hard to come by. You know that Palantor are very secretive about that technology, right?
Right, which is why I'm making a business to get a different body for my friend.
Oh, that's very noble. It's very noble. It's very kind. You're a very nice man, right? You're a very nice man. You really do things for your friends. That's good. That's good. Well, okay. So you want to start a business? I can take that. I can take care of that for you. Okay, here we go. And you see, he starts to pull out. He's got like a briefcase. This, and he pulls out some digital tablets and such. Like, well, there's going to be some paperwork involved. And if you're committed, if you're ready to go, I'm more than happy to lend a hand in filling out said paperwork. You got anywhere to be? It could take a little while.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just here for a little bit.
And so as he starts like unpacking this briefcase, and he's taking out what looks like a series of data pads, and it's not just one, but like literally multiple data pads. He starts being like, all right, I'm just going to need a bunch of signatures, the usual rigmarole, some basic information so that I can kind of get all this stuff filed. Okay. And so he slides over one of these data pads and he's like, okay, this is the BRF8. The BRF, it's very essential for registering your entity, your Palantir Body Creation Services with the Interstellar Trade Commission. It basically establishes your legal presence across multiple systems. So I'm just going to need you to sign there, make your mark there, initial here, double initial there, triple initial here, and sign there. Okay, go right ahead.
I'm gonna handprint everywhere that I can.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so he takes that and he gives you another night. This is the CLA 12. This basically ensures that you have the necessary licenses to operate in both regulated and deregulated markets. Without it, you'd be violating several inter-system trade laws, and the Board of Management would probably... Oh, no, the Board of Management gets very upset when you start violating the trade laws. They send those big old Legion goons after you. You don't want that to happen, do you? No. Okay, good. Okay, sign this. And he's just constantly pointing to places for you to sign. And are you just doing it? You're just signing after the other.
Yeah.
Like, all right. This here, he takes that one, he hands you a different one, kind of flips through it a little bit, and he puts it in front of you like, okay, this is the OLR 5. It's critical. This one's critical, okay? This grants you permission to conduct business in specific sectors. And, the big companies, they basically use it to sort of specify everything from, like, mining rights to, like, biotech research capabilities, which some of your Palantir Body Creation is going to probably infringe upon. But this here, this OLR5, this ensures the little guys like you and me that we don't get steamrolled or muscled out of our various investment quarters. You don't want to get steamrolled, do you?
No. It takes a long time to put myself back together after that.
That's right. I bet you could actually put your eyes. See if I got steamrolled. I'd be flat as a pancake. Oh, I love you, Zhou. You guys are great. You fresh? You fresh on the station? This your first time here? First time around the block?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would never have guessed. Oh, God, look at that. Okay, anyhow, this here is the FTC3. This is the Freedom to Trade Certificate. This gives you access to various stock markets within the Haven system. This is where the big money is, kid. This is where the big money is. Do you have a stock portfolio already? Is it diversified? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, that sort of thing? You want to make sure your business is viable for both public and venture capital otherwise you'll have to foot the bill for basically everything you own. And you don't want to be the one footing the bill, right?
I don't know how much stock I can fit on my ship because I share my ship with everybody else. So I don't know how much room I have for stock.
You have a ship. Oh, that's very interesting. We're going to get to that shortly.
That's where my Palantir friend is. He's a part of the ship. I'm trying to get him a body.
Now, that's wonderful. That's just so very wonderful that you've given them their own little private network to upload to while they're waiting around for the body. That's very smart of you. You're a good kid. Okay, sign there. Just keep going
that
through
question.
Okay.
I need everything.
He pulls out another one. And he's like, okay, this is the TV4. This is to maximize profits. Okay, we got to apply for this. We might get rejected, but basically, this allows us to take advantage of various tax loopholes that us seasoned entrepreneurs have discovered here during our time on Alabasta.
You look very seasoned.
I am very seasoned. You're quite right. I'm super seasoned, very salted. It's very important. Okay, most folks think that when you make a product or a service that you sell that product or service and then the profit will just start rolling in, but that is not so, sir. Not so. The real profit comes from your margins, you get it? And if you know how to manipulate the various tax codes, and they are labyrinthine, my friend, then you can increase your margins and you thereby increase profit. You follow me?
Yeah. Margins.
Excellent.
Profit.
Sign here. Excellent. Right. Okay, cool. Now, does your ship have any sort of like security systems and such to ensure that no one's going to kind of break? Are we talking like physical security, digital security, network security, that sort of thing?
Probably, I think so. Yeah.
You'd be amazed at what people will do to try to, you know, kind of nestle in there and kind of take the things from you. And now that you're going to be a business owner, you could probably be a target for a lot of, you know, nefarious criminals out there trying to take advantage of a sweet, nice young Zhou like you.
That's horrible.
Who would do such a thing? Who would do such a thing? All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, wait, here we go. We got to file the Universal Compliance Statement. That's the UCS-7. That basically ensures adherence to interplanetary trade statutes. Now, be careful, because failure to comply on this one can result in very hefty fines or even asset seizure. And you said you have assets, right? You got that ship and stuff. I'll need a list of all your other assets just so we can kind of estimate your liquidable assets, you see, just in case we got to parachute out of this if something goes sideways at some point, right? Then this here, and so he's like,
okay.
I'm just giving you stuff like rapidly. This is the licensing fee assessment, the LFA9. It's kind of tricky, but I can walk you through it. It essentially involves calculated projecting earnings and aligning them with corporate tax matrix, which is the CTM11, which is that other data pad right next to it. Go ahead, just put a little signature over there. And then don't forget about the operational risk evaluation. That's the OERE13. And that was really important because that safeguards you, okay, and your entity, your business, and me as your partner, right, against unforeseen market fluctuations, okay? And I'll tell you, my friend, they fluctuate. Okay, so go ahead, just a couple of signatures right there.
Yeah, I signed the rest.
And he's like, all right, well, congratulations. You are now a legitimate business owner. Look at that, look at you. You want you got a name for the business?
My name is Zatek.
Okay, I'm gonna put Zatek's business. How about that? It's got a nice ring to it, right?
They will know exactly what it is.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. All the rich folk, all the really most powerful folk, like Octanto, he puts his name on his business. So it's just like, you know, you get one day, you might just call it Zatek. How's that? Zatek. You know, or Zatek tech. Get it? You get to put the TECH. It's a little different. Never mind. We're overthinking. Anyhow, let me go ahead and take all these. I'll start filing these away for you now that I got your information. Remember.
Did you want to hear more about my business plan?
Right. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me a little about it. Yeah, sure.
And I'll actually share with him like what I know about Palantir and the Flesh Inc. thing, and like how.
Oh yeah.
There's some rumors that Flesh Inc. stole some stuff with Palantir tech, and I feel real bad about my Palantir friend not getting the body, and he's already had one. He's probably going to be pretty far down the waiting list since he didn't treat the last one too well. So I think this is the best way to do it. And I was told I have to be a business, and now I'm a business, so we can buy a flesh bot, right?
Well, maybe. Once I get this all filed, you'll be, in system, so you can actually start making some business connections, right? Because just some random person sending a request to Flesh Inc., that's not going to get responded to at all. But the CEO of Zatek business, that's definitely going to get looked at strangely. Yes, very carefully.
All right. I like the sound of that.
I'm gonna go ahead, just take all this information that you gave me. All right, Mr. Zatek. Let me go ahead and get your contact information. I'll reach out to you once all this is filed and certified and triple certified in triplicate or whatever. And I will let you know when you are ready to go.
Awesome. Thanks. And I'll shake his hand.
Okay, good for you. And he puts all this back in and he stands up, looks at you. Yeah, okay, bye. And he turns and he goes.
That went really well. I feel good about this.
I'm going back to
leave and start looking for the rest of the party.
Okay. All right, fantastic. Where does the tech go after that? Does he head back up somewhere? Where does he head after that?
Yeah, I try to retrace the steps that I took to get down there, and then get back to where I was when I first yelled out for that ad, and then just gonna look around for everybody.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll say we see Zatek retracing his steps. Let's go over to Maya. Let's check in with Maya. Maya, last we saw you got thrown out of Octanto on the streets. You see all these various like different displays here and there that are immediately live streaming the events. Some people walk past you and they look up at you and they just sort of like look you up and down and shake their head. Other people cross to the other side of the street. And what do you do? What does Maya do next?
Maya is diligently avoiding eye contact and making her way to her mother's.
Okay.
Like as quickly as possible, like practically a jog.
Okay. So presumably you know where your mother lives. She's probably some very high level apartment, somewhere in one of these skyscrapers in sort of probably the federal area or so. And we'll say you get there, you go inside. There is like a basic lobby area where you probably see an attendant. Like everything is fairly secure. And as you start walking past, you hear like kind of heading over to one of the lifts. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Can I help you? This isn't a public building.
No, my mother lives here. I'm just seeing her.
Your mother lives here. Oh,
Sorry, Daniel.
I beg your pardon. You are
Maya.
You're a Daniel?
I am the only other Daniel.
Well, I wasn't aware that Miss Dianu had children. How
No, it's
interesting. Are you like a niece or
daughter?
Daughter. Okay. Wow. You look very familiar. Might I have seen you somewhere before? What is it you do for a living? Are you with Pinnacle as well?
I have done some work for Pinnacle Fuel in the past, but not recently.
Yes. If you've worked at the factories, is that what it is? They kind of like look you up and down.
I have previously done some showcase of some of their newer sources when I had a stream, and I am
a stream. Yes. Yeah, you're Divine Mocha. Oh my goodness! One moment, please.
Yes.
And you see she turns over, she hits a button, and one of her drone comes up, and it kind of camera drone turns out, and she's like, "Hello, hello, hello! I am here. I'm delightful mint chocolate chip, and I'm here with disgraced streamer. I don't know. I just made it up on the fly. Leave me alone. This disgraced streamer, Divine Mocha. It's like she is in the lobby. Can you believe this? Now." Miss Mocha, do you go by Miss Mocha? Is that your preferred?
I would actually prefer if we did not do this, because I'm sure my mother values her privacy.
Her what?
Privacy.
I'm sorry. Is that like a Kaltoran?
She's not a streamer like you are.
Oh. Well, I see. I suppose the proverbial human apple, does seem to fall very far from the tree. Well, I'm sorry, everyone. The most unprofessional, disgraced streamer, Divine Mocha, does not want to be streamed, so we'll talk again later. Bye-bye! And Clyde closes down and turns back to you. Your mother's not here.
Okay. I will go wait at the apartment. I'll just let.
Well, I have a very clear list on those who are allowed up that elevator, and I do not see your name on this list.
All right. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna try and call my mom. I don't want whatever number I have her.
Well, if you would like to go speak with her, maybe it's just a misunderstanding. I believe she is currently running an art gallery over at the Gilded Dividends.
At the Gilded Dividends, yes.
Yes. I'm sure
over.
everything can get squared away over there.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Off you go. Okay. So then, let's cut over then to Killing Dr. T. Killing Dr. T, you are in the Nephilim Embassy. You're also in Alabaster 1. This is kind of the only really non-corp place. Everything else has sort of been scrubbed down to make it look like core. So you like everything you've seen, it's like, you know, everything is kind of bioluminescent, bioorganic. The walls kind of pulsate here and there. It still kind of has a very regal, refined corp influence. And you are in a room where the walls themselves are pulsing, but there is this large polished blackstone table with a handful of seats that seem to be made out of some kind of combo of synthetic and organic material. Are you all sitting down? Like, as you sitting down?
Yeah,
I think
for cake.
I think Kill, like, he's watched how, like, so much of their decor is, like, they're kind of trying to be close to what traditionalists would be, but it's just kind of off by just a little bit. And he really doesn't know how to respond to this audience. So he's going to basically try and use his, like, leadership to present an aura of he knows how to handle this very official ceremony. And he'll begin cutting the cake and making sure that everybody else gets a slice of cake to make it seem like he's really leaning into their official ceremony of things.
Okay, give me a culture roll. Kill as you try to be extraordinarily diplomatic. And while you're doing that, I'll describe the other folks in the room. So Dr. T is sitting there waiting for cake. We can see, having just come in the other side of the table, are 3 Nephilim. One is Deacon Ottawa. Very tall, kind of imposing looking figure, deep blue skin. He's got this sort of intricate bioluminescent pattern kind of going on. And you can see that they have like a mask kind of covering their eyes, and you can actually see the brain essentially popping out of the cranium. They have 4 arms, if I haven't mentioned that. And like the mask is like some kind of synth steel mask. You would imagine there's probably some kind of display, like a HUD going on behind it. Did I share art with you guys last time?
Hell.
I'll show you the art.
So.
All right, I'll show you the art. Let's see if I can find where I put it.
I can't wait.
Okay, so let's see. Deacon Ottawa. Okay. Go ahead and share it. All right, there you go. Y'all should be able to see it now.
I love it so much.
So cool.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So it's not showing it up for the stream. All right, there we go. So there's
All right.
Deacon
Those are like the
Ottawa.
crazy rare Nephilim, right?
So the Genocrat class is essentially like the leadership class, so to speak. Think of it like because Dr. T is Tenebrous, so he's the one with all the tentacles and stuff, and they're more like kind of sciencey. Then there's Gargantuan, who are a little bit more militaristic, which is, you know, they're brutes, they're bodyguards, things like that. So this guy right here is a little bit more, he's a little bit more of the kind of leadership variety. Let's see. Okay, so then in addition to that guy, there is also, he introduces someone by the name of, like there's this big hulking gargantuan Nephilim who barely fits much, and like Kill, you're a big dude, but this guy's bigger. Like he's like massive and hulking, and I will share that as well. And I'll say that the deacon,
This is my personal body, man. This is Saskatoon.
So let me show you what he looks like. So there you go.
Oh God!
All right.
I'm just
I
thrilled
love
right
this
now.
place so much.
I'm just following Chuck's lead on the naming convention because it's hilarious.
Wow.
And then you see on the other side,
This is my cultural attaché, emissary Win Nai Peg.
and I'll show you what they look like. And they look much more kind of humanoid. They definitely look like they're dressed more like a core person. They have very dark, beady eyes, but like otherwise they certainly have like they have the sort of the bipedal look of like something trying to imitate like what a humanoid corp or a Kaltoran or something might look like. So like as you're kind of sitting around this table, the Saskatoon, like you can tell when they talk, they struggle a little bit with the volume. So when Deacon Ottawa, introduces him, he just is like, "Greetings!" and it just like bellows and echoes out in a way that is far too loud. Dr. T, you're probably familiar with this kind of thing, but Kill, it's just like, holy shit. It's like you put your ear next to a stereo. And then And then the other one, the cultural assistant, the cultural attaché, you can tell like as every time Ottawa talks, or even as Saskatoon talks, like you can see like Winnipeg's mouth kind of moving, and there's like this very subtle like harmonization going on. It almost seems like she's like saying all the things that they're saying with this sort of low echo. But otherwise, they look kind of normal. But you do hear it, and it's just sort of this sort of strange little quirk that they have. But we just saw Ottawa, like he introduces his assistants, invites you to sit down and to
Kindly indulge in this traditional welcome nourishment so that we can commence negotiations with our food cavities properly filled.
And so, Kill, how did you do on your culture roll?
I did about as well as I can. I got a 15 and then a -2 to that, but still a 13. That's like about as good as he's going to get.
Okay, so as you start cutting it, you can see that the three of them, well, I should say only the two of them take seats. As you see, Saskatoon stands up and behind and takes like this Overwatch position, while the other two sit down. The deacon sits directly across at what very clearly seems like the prominent position on the other side of this rounded but not circular table. And then you can see off to his side is Winnipeg. But as you start to cut it and you start handing it out, like you definitely see like there's nods of approval, and they take it, and everyone starts eating. And you can tell like as Ottawa is like eating with two of their hands, the other two hands are kind of working, it seems, with some kind of data pad as they're going, and it doesn't look like Saskatoon takes any cake. So the two of you, do you want to eat this?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Eagerly.
Physical
With many tentacles assisting.
Go ahead and roll a physical test. I will say, Dr. T, you can get like a +2 just because of your species.
Okay, so that evens me out.
And physical test. Okay. That is not all 3 ones. I got a 1, a 3, and a 1. I think I'm gonna grit that.
Okay.
I really don't want to. I don't want to botch eating this, whatever this is.
It becomes the scene from Stand By Me. It's great.
Have some big cultural snafu here because of your digestion of their cake.
Jamie's really good at diplomacy. We've seen it in multiple games.
Well, I got myself from a 12 to a 13. So again, just that nice, 13 and 13.
Not bad. It's not bad. I will tell you that as you eat this, actually, Dr. D, how'd you do first before I?
13.
All right, 13. Okay, both of you, as you eat this. First of all, Dr. D, it tastes fine. So this is basically bileberry cake. It's fermented bileberries, and it's very slimy. It has this very pungent odor and this really slick texture that just won't leave the tongue. Which Dr. T, as a Nephilim. More than likely, this tastes delicious, right? And there's no problems whatsoever. Kill, on the other hand, it's very potent with its flavors, and the flavors, it's like it's a pie or a cake, and it doesn't feel very sweet. It seems more savory and vinegary, and you find your tongue kind of getting coated with something, and it's very hard to get it out. And there's no water anywhere, like they haven't offered you any drinks, and so it's just sort of stuck on your tongue for a bit, and your stomach starts to rumble as you finish your first slice. But otherwise, there's no other penalty or anything like that.
Gil, we're gonna have so much fun later tonight scraping this off of our tongues. It's called the desserts.
The doctor is correct. It is a wonderful tradition in Nephilim culture. You must be a very high-ranking underling for Dr. T to invite you to such an activity.
I feel very privileged to experience such an experience.
Now, what is your name, rank, and of what origin are you within the Legion?
Centurion Kilkrug, personal attaché, so to speak, to Maya Dinyanyu. Typically, handle security.
Yes, one of the other underlings for Dr. Toronto. Yes.
Yeah, I also apparently volunteer to be, test subject for the doctor's surgical experiments from time to time.
Excellent.
You should see the work that I have done on his knees and ankles and wrists.
He
and
gave me new
ocular
knees.
sockets.
I didn't even know he did it.
We would very much like you to file that data with the embassy for future study.
Very well.
And if you are ever done with his underling and wish to convert him over to one of our...
And he kind of stops what he's saying as the emissary kind of leans over and like whispers something.
Anyhow, did you enjoy the bilberry cake?
Delicious.
I've never had anything like it.
Is your food cavity satiated?
Sufficiently satiated.
Then we shall commence with negotiations. As you can see from the communication, the Archgenicate Devwitch has instructed me to instruct you to complete a task on our behalf. You are agreed, yes?
And then just looks at Dr. T. Okay, so doesn't really even look like, again, has this sin seal face, etc. And
we require an escort. We are sending a small delegation, including those within this room, to the Kasuf system to commence negotiations with a faction known as the Bloodied Coin. You will take us, as per instructions.
Very well. Question.
Yes, Dr. Toronto.
How do they make the coins bleed?
And they kind of look over towards the cultural attaché who leans over.
I believe it is metaphorical.
Okay.
So, he kind of looks around, and he kind of goes into a little bit further, and he's like,
the Archgenocrat has decided to employ non-native vessels to avert suspicions that our own presence in the system would attract. We have sent prior emissary collectives, but they have disappeared attempting communication with the Bloodied Coin pirates, the dominators of Kasuf in planet Hubal, which is where we shall be going. Now, the failures of our emissaries remain confidential, so this meeting, of course, continues that confidentiality. Uncovering their status would carry additional merit, but we have acquired from a separate asset the means with which to access Amnesty Station and petition for an audience with its principal overseer.
And he looks towards Kill.
And a legion, perhaps you know them. They are called Captain Julius Bloodhand, of the Origins family. Maybe you grew up with them in some sort of vat where you all gestated.
It's possible. We do mostly know all of each other.
That is what I have heard,
And the emissary leans over.
I've been instructed to say I apologize for my cultural insensitivity.
It's okay. I was trying to make a joke of it so we could all just get along well.
Listens again.
Good one.
So,
additional instruction as to what you would do to support our delegation will be given once we are underway. It must remain of the utmost privacy.
Yes, it will. We will require financial compensation to outfit our ship for additional passengers and supplies. And we would also like free access to, I believe it was Haven 3.
Alabaster 3. Yeah, Alabaster 3.
Also, we would like free access to Alabaster 3 for medical experiments.
You wish to poke with the infected, yes?
Yes.
This can be arranged.
And then the emissary whispers something, and he comes back and he's like,
in addition to the gratitude of the Archgenocrat Devwitch, which surely suffices you, Dr. Toronto, we are prepared to offer your underlings a substantial quantity of resources in the corporation denominations that best meet their purpose. We also are willing depending upon the quality of the success of this mission, to grant access to our biotechnological portfolios, our gene weaver innovations, and flesh assets can also be arranged as supplemental compensation upon the successful completion of the task.
That would be fantastic. Once we're done with this, I plan on working on resurrecting the Mondian race.
You can see, like, actually, both of you roll a psychology test.
Ooh, I just get better at psychology.
I did.
Ooh.
I mean, I still have a -1, but I'm slightly better.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of those grits I earned.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bad
There you
roll.
go. It's
You know what? I'm just
Chuck
gonna
and
let that
Frag.
stand. I'm gonna
For
keep
roll
that
12.
eight.
Here we go. I'm gonna.
I think it's
use
fine
that
that
Okay.
still can't read them.
for that 2,
Fair enough.
giving me another 6, which is mathematically, I don't know, 15,
16? Okay.
16.
All
I
right,
got
Dr.
+1.
T, you, I mean, you've been in rooms probably with a genocrat or a deacon before. Deacons, again, very high-ranking, respected in the hierarchy of the Eden Brood, because that's what you are a member of, right? And all of it stems from the Dev Witch, right? And the Dev Witch is basically what kind of keeps all of you from going feral. Like, it's like that kind of organizational structure, right? And so, like, while not like a god, it's like this sort of figurehead that kind of unifies you all in a way. And you know that the genocrats are kind of like the leaders, the generals, etc., that kind of are sent out, and a deacon is one of those of a particular kind, like specific tasks or specific things. And they're usually very cool, calm, and collected. But you can tell that the deacon Ottawa stiffened, and although you could not see their eyes, and if this was like Maya or Jita, this might be one of those moments when like their eyes would open wide and their eyebrows would go high. So they seem very surprised at the sudden mention of that, but they don't really act on it. Like he very much seems like fascinated by that mentioning. But then you can see quickly kind of composes himself before kind of marshaling further. So he also says,
Whichever one of your underlings are met with death or whatever termination process is consistent with their species, we will not compensate them. That is agreed?
Agreed.
Excellent. So, we expect to be underway in 48 hours. Is this sufficient time for you to poke around on Stink? No, I'm sorry, it's not Stink, but that would have been funny. What's it called? Yeah, is this sufficient time for you to do your medical examinations of the infected on Alabaster 3?
I would like to postpone medical investigations on Alabaster 3 until after we are finished with the mission.
Understood. We will put your name and we will provide the limited access that we can provide. We do have some influence, after all.
Fantastic.
okay.
Now, let us eat the second cake to commence with the ending of these negotiations.
And then you see like the door open up and like a person, like you see this Tenebrous comes in and they have like 2 tentacles holding up this big platter with this giant cake. What do you say, Dr. T?
I appreciate the second helping, and I know that my underling Kill he's going to enjoy it, but sadly they do not have the esophageal musculature that we do, and they would require additional beverage to wash it down.
A biological limitation. We have been studying that. Some of our shepherds in Flesh Inc. have been able to create a different esophageal construct. Would you be interested in us installing it in you, Mr. Krug?
He would.
That's a very kind offer, but I feel I haven't earned it.
Excellent.
yet.
Then we will go ahead and we will plan that for our return.
This is fantastic.
Excellent.
And so you can see the Tenebrous, like one of the other tentacles comes up and puts this big beverage, like this big old clear glass on the table, but it's like bubbling and like you have no idea what it is, and slides it over towards you, Kill.
Bottoms up, I believe is the term.
I'm just glad to be sporting the good doctor.
Go ahead and roll a physical test as you drink this.
Appreciate the prep work, Jeremy.
I love Nephilim. They're so good. Oh, goodness. How'd you do?
3 is under quarantine, by the way.
I'm going to use this.
Okay. Yeah, 3 is a quarantine one. That's the way I do.
You got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's so much better.
Okay.
That's a 9 and a 4 for a 13, which would get me up to a 15.
Okay. This is some sort of like fermented alcohol. We have no idea what the hell's in this. Like, it's like fermented. It's yeah, it could be kombucha, but like alcoholic. I have some of that. I unironically love kombucha. I don't know what it is. I drink it and I'm just like, I feel better now. Like, it's so stupid. Anyhow,
I like it too. I've been getting it recently.
I love kombucha. But this is like kombucha, and maybe it's like there's something alive in it moving around or whatever. But you drink it, and strangely enough, Kill, not too bad. Not too bad. Way better than the bileberry cake. Okay.
That's one of a kind.
So you go through whatever final ceremonies there are. You agree in 48 hours to be underway. And they will meet you in whatever dock it is, and they will provide you additional instruction once travel gets underway. But effectively, you just accepted a job to go to the Kasuf system. Now, the Kasuf system is reachable via gate in the Liberty Belt, which is one of the asteroid belts in the Haven system. But all that does is like half the amount of time. So it's still going to be a lengthy travel, but you're going to be traveling essentially in jump space for a very long time. And the other thing about the Kasuf system is that the Kasuf system doesn't have any ley dust. So leaving the Kasuf system is a little tricky because you can't really just collect ley dust. There's not ley dust there, and so it's a very dark system. Sometimes like people refer to it as like a heavy system. So it's like you can't travel easily, and it is essentially just pirates. It's like a space pirate thing, and like so like you guys would know a little bits and pieces about that. I'm not sure if anyone's been there, but you would have that basic knowledge. So that's what you've just agreed to. Okay, we're gonna cut from there then, and we will cut over to Jita. Jita, last we saw you had seen this artistic display out in one of these centralized squares within the city of Alabaster 1. And you saw that the artist themselves was a Twyfar of the Phoenix Symphony by the name of Deo. And that they had a gallery that was going on. This was both a display, but also kind of an advertisement for a showing over at the Gilded Dividends. And so when it's not hard to find the place. Like, you have these various like running lights that sort of direct you once you ask different panels and such where you want to go. And you find that the Gilded Dividends is located within this very sleek, reflective skyscraper. It's in sort of the federal district where all the money exchanges are. And you can see it's got this kind of angular architecture to it. And it's like shimmering. The facade is just absolutely shimmering, almost blinding when you look up. You can see that there's very high-end stores and cafes nearby. You can see boutique fashion stores, some of the Octanto brand. You can see high-end cafes. There's like a tech repair shop, all sorts of things. And you probably suddenly feel a touch underdressed as people who are walking past you in like the highest fashion whatsoever. So eventually, though, like when you go inside, you can see that you can go to the gallery. It's not like you need invitation. Go ahead, Gita.
So, and kind of going back to that comment about kind of being underdressed, like she, kind of similar to other, kind of Nephilim like her, she wears a lot of different like robes and different things like that. And so what she would, sorry, I had to clear my throat. What she would do is, try to find somewhere, maybe even like a clothing store or somewhere that she would be able to just kind of step in somewhere. And basically what she's doing is she's taking the robes that were a little more on the inside and then taking the ones that were on the outside and kind of swapping it out. So she's kind of like switching up her look a little bit. So things that were on the outside and may have been a little bit more faded are now kind of swapped around so that she looks a little bit more like the style isn't necessarily going to be updated, but just kind of going from like faded to less faded.
Give me a culture test to see if you can make yourself look more presentable. And you're not buying anything, you're just you're going into a high-end Saks Fifth Avenue. Can I use your dressing room?
Well, no, I mean, she would like try on some things, and then when she like gets dressed again, she'll
slide
like
them
kind
underneath
of
your clothes, put your jacket over top of them, and try to walk out.
She's not stealing.
Classic. Okay.
Yeah,
culture test.
not so good with culture, but rolling. I need a 12 to pass.
Yeah, 12's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna spend an audience dice. I'm gonna spend an audience to reroll 1.
Okay.
Because I currently have an 11, and I like to do because I've got a -2 for culture.
Okay. So you're up to an 11. Is that what you said? Do you finish that?
Yeah, I did a reroll, and that got that down to a 2. So
You look better.
It's 10. So
You look better. But as you step back out, you do see that there is an attendant within this alabaster Fifth Avenue who looks at you and is like, "Excuse me, ma'am. Are you intending to purchase anything? This seems like the wrong store for you. We can make recommendations for one that might be within your price range and on a different station."
Oh, yeah, that would be lovely. Yes, these things just didn't quite work exactly right. But sure, I'll take the name of somewhere. Yes, that would be so very nice of you.
There is an alabaster Walmart on Station 5. You would probably be best suited for that.
Oh, yes, I can certainly see, and she'll pretend like she's kind of taking down the information as to where that is, and like she was using them, so she's not really particularly concerned about kind of what she's getting back. Like, sure,
Okay.
Yep, thank you. None of that quite worked exactly, but yep, thank you. Have a lovely day.
All right, and so you say goodbye to them. Do you try to get inside the gallery at this point?
Yes.
Okay. You when you get inside the building, like there's a lift that you can see, like there's directions what floor you have to go to. It's floor 37 apparently, so you go all the way up to floor 37 in this lift. You are occasionally getting glances and sort of people like kind of eyeing you up and down, and you're also bombarded with a series of advertisements that seem to be trying to get you to buy better clothes and also a variety of hygiene products, cleanliness, perfumes, things like that. And all of them are just kind of in the side of your vision, or you hear them in your ear. Like they're kind of reading you as you step through these various openings and doors, and as you walk down hallways and such. But eventually you find yourself on floor 37. You can see that there is a small crowd that is both inside this kind of foyer, but also you can see they've spilled into the gallery itself, and you can hear the sounds of music playing from inside. You can see that there are these well-dressed, kind of white suit, black tie attendants that are kind of coming around, serving drinks and such, and also occasionally taking pictures here and there. And as you walk up, you can see that there is somebody at the entrance that is kind of checking. Excuse me, madam. Are you lost?
Oh no, absolutely. And she looks at all the signage. Yep, I am exactly where I want to be. Thank you.
Are you? You see, this is by invitation only. The public showing will be tomorrow. Are you on the list? Do I have a name?
Oh, well, now,
I didn't realize that was going to be a trick question. Are you okay? Have you drank a lot today? Oh, you do smell a bit ripe.
Oh dear. I don't. I suppose she might throw Maya's name out because she wouldn't necessarily know what's been going on since we got here. So,
okay.
My good friend, Maya Dionu, I would imagine that she would have an invitation to such an event.
Oh, you're a personal guest of Miss Dianu?
Well, yes, of course. We're just very close friends.
Roll a persuasion test, and I'll tell you what. Take like a +2, because you did drop Dianu, which would help you in this case. Though you did
All
also
right.
drop Maya, which would also hurt you, which is why it's a +2 instead of a +4. So it's kind of.
So it's a persuasion +2.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll give you +2 because Dianu is a good name, but the Maya is the bad name. So I'm not going to give you like a full big thing. So,
okay, so that'll be just a straight persuasion for me because persuasion is a -2 because I'm rolling all
Straight
of the things
persuasion.
I'm not good at so far today.
Here we go. We'll say, 17. Look at that. Oh, geez.
Okay, so I got a 6, so I'm going to re-roll the 1 and see how that does.
I'm surprised. Shocked. It's got a 6.
So 15.
15. Okay. Well, Miss Maya Dianu. I'm not familiar with that name, but Miss Sanvi Dianu is actually one of the organizers here. If you wait one moment.
Oh, yes, that's her mother. Yes.
Well, let me call her here and see if she can square this out. One moment. And you see he kind of like turns away, puts a hand to his ear, kind of whispers, asks for Miss Dianu. And a few, like maybe 2 minutes later, you see walking out of the gallery towards this little open area. And I'm going to let Maya describe what your mom looks like as she walks up to where Jita is talking to this gallery attendant.
Sandri Dianu is she's very she's elegance personified, and she is wearing the sci-fi equivalent of like a silk sari, and so she's wearing this like beautiful blue drape across her with gold embroidery on the edges. She has her hair done up. She has minimal but immaculately applied makeup. She is basically like she cleans up real nice. And she's a very elegant older brown woman.
Okay, so as she comes up, she's like, "Thank you, Antonio. I'll handle it from here. With me, please, with me." And she just sort of motions at you, like, but she turns before even making eye contact and just sort of with 2 fingers kind of waves you inward.
And so Gina was like going to do sort of a greeting and then realize that she's not being faced anymore. And so she does sort of look back to Antonio a little bit with just a little bit of like a wink as she kind of moves along, just sort of in this, like, you thought you were going to keep me out of this, and here I am going in anyway, kind of a wink.
Okay. He'll raise an eyebrow at that, because I feel like he's just doing his job, but no, you're no fair. So he kind of raises an eyebrow and just sort of shakes his head, because like, what crass behavior. And this is just further cementing why you're not permitted in here. But you're brought into like this little nook. You're not fully into the gallery, and Zombie turns around, wheels around. "You're a friend of my daughter. Where is Maya with you?"
No, she is here on station though.
Oh, I'm well aware.
I
have you not been keeping up with the streams? And then she just kind of like does a little thing on her wristwatch, and you see like this little holographic display pop up, and it's a scene of Maya effectively getting into some yelling match with a person in a lobby, and then effectively getting thrown out. You can hear she's got the volume down, and she's kind of hiding it.
How devastating! How devastating that happened
yes.
on the manners of some people.
I am quite upset. She should know better. I have a gallery showing today. Our stocks have already plummeted. It's going to be much more difficult to sell these pieces because of this. The Anu name is going to be dragged through the mud. She should know better, personally. She's not with you, though.
Oh, that was not the point that I was trying to make. But she's here. She's probably on her way. I'm not sure though.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. And it's at that point that we see Maya get off the elevator because you were headed there, right? We see Maya get off the elevator.
I was wondering if I might make a stop on the way. Actually.
Where do you want to stop?
Specifically a clothing store to buy like something more modern, like a cocktail dress.
Oh, look at who's got money to go shopping.
Wealth is one of the few things that I have.
I'll say roll a wealth test. Roll a wealth test, and like basically the higher, the fancier you it is. It's not gonna be like a spare time point, but let's just do wealth.
Well, Cheetah wishes that
much more acceptable towards you until he notices your face. Like, are you divine mocha? 17 is fantastic. We'll say that you step off. We see you step off the elevator, and you can describe what you're wearing. We'll say you're in extraordinarily elegant and up-to-date fashion. We'll probably say as well.
Which is the most important part.
Of course. Okay.
Up-to-date fashion, and it's this slinky, dusty rose number that like really shows off her like youthfulness and brown skin, and it's very like where Sanvi is elegant and beautiful, like Maya is very obvious and like very clearly trying to prove a point about how hot she is.
And so as you start walking towards the front of the gallery and Jita and Sanvi are talking, Sanvi will be like, oh, well, at least she chose to actually dress up for the occasion, as she kind of looks over to Jita when she says that. And then she says, over here, darling. And she kind of waves in your direction.
Oh, doesn't you look so beautiful, Maya?
Oh, thank you, Jita.
We were just talking about you. I'm so sorry.
Would you like to go to the apartment and maybe borrow one of my dresses? I have a Miley Floppets from a few seasons ago, but it's pretty timeless.
Oh goodness, no! You have. Oh, you really need to catch up on your fashion industry. Oh, that is very out of date, very off color. No. Oh my goodness. But I have something in the back, I'm sure. Follow me. And she like hustles you all back. And you like kind of find yourselves in the back of the gallery where there's all these different sort of hanging clothes here and there. And she's like, mostly this is for the help, but I'm sure we can spruce it up a little bit. And she'll get you, which is like basically a cocktail dress that like the waitresses are wearing, but she like kind of spruces it up with some different color here and there, kind of pulls this and that. So it makes it look a little bit different, Jita. And you look a little bit more.
Jita hates it, I'm gonna guess, because she does like the robe multi-layer thing. So whereas Maya's like, this is what I'm working with, this is what I've got, Jita is very much like, this is not what I do. So yeah, so she's sort of doing the thing, because I imagine this was just sort of a like, you know, they're somewhere private, but she's just like standing there and suddenly she's not wearing her robes and suddenly she's wearing something new and she's just
like whirlwind. It's like something, it's like the Tasmanian devil. And then all of a sudden. Yeah.
And so she's really just sort of looking to Maya to just sort of like, she's standing very stiff and her eyebrows are up, but she's just sort of looking to Maya just to sort of be like, is it worth it that I just went through this?
Maya is not paying attention to you. She has her own problems.
Totally fine. And so Jita's all on her own
like,
in this
Mom,
discomfort.
I really need to talk to you. So what I'm just telling you.
Dear, what on earth were you thinking today?
I have so much to tell you, Mom. I know you have this opening now, but if you have 10 minutes, I can tell you very quickly. What's happening?
She looks down at her very elegant looking wristwatch, basically. Yes, fine, go right ahead. I'm sorry, I never got your name. And she looks over at Jita at this point.
Jita Essence. Very nice to make your acquaintance.
Jita Essence, wonderful. Would you care to go explore? You're welcome to look around.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so very much. I appreciate all of your time. I will leave the two of you. And she sort of like gives Maya a little hug on the way out.
With my spring skirt fully.
Okay. And so Savia will look towards you, Maya, and she'll, well, I'm quite pleased to see you. This was not the best way to announce your return to the Haven system, darling.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I went to the mermaid. I was gonna surprise you, and okay. You know how I went off planet, and you know how we got caught up on this planet that had a bunch of late storm activity that really messed with the time, and it felt like we were only there for a few days, but I guess we were there for 6 months, and we lost some time before that. Even I'll tell you all the details later, but do you remember that guy that I was seeing for a little while, Ajax Valeria?
Oh, the Legion fellow, Kill's protege or something. Yeah.
Yes. Either way, he was there, and anyway,
he was
we
there.
We had a really tough time.
Are you saying you've been gone for months because you've been on a romantic tryst, and you brought your entire crew with you in doing so?
I wish that's what it was, Mom, but it wasn't. And I'll tell you everything later. But essentially, what happened was that when I was there, Octanto Corp tried to get in touch with me to do some work, and then
Darcy reached out to you.
Well, I don't know if it wasn't Darcy, it was just people. Why would Darcy Octanto reach? No, it was just people. Anyway,
she looks like kind of like she looks a little uncomfortable.
I was at his offices to try and
Oh, darling, I love you so very much, but you're just such a fool sometimes. Please promise me, do not return ever to Octanto headquarters. And if Darcy ever reaches out to you in any particular way, please don't reply. Contact me first so that we can discuss the proper steps moving forward.
If I need to get, I know nobody gets it, and I know Kill didn't really get it, and even Jeter doesn't really get it, and God knows Ajax didn't get it, but I work hard, and I need someone. I need Octanto Corp to work with me the same way they are working with Infernal Vanilla and everyone else.
You will not be working with Octanto. Partially because if you've seen your numbers, they're abysmal. None of the major companies are going to be working there right now. You have a lot of work to do to prepare your image. This was...
Which I will do.
Yes, so let's table this discussion about Octanto. I don't see it as a viable path for you, and there are far better options out there for eventual sponsorship and collaboration once you repair your stream, which, as I said, is plummeted quite significantly over the past few months. Nothing that can't be repaired with hard work and dedication.
Yes, and I will repair it. But actually, while we're on the subject of things that need repairing, Do you think maybe you could call Kill at some point?
I beg your pardon. No. I don't think that would be very appropriate.
Can you do it for me, please? Because like I said, we are missing big chunks of her. And I mean, you know how he is. He doesn't
Oh,
talk
I
about
know how
more than
he is.
half of the thing. Well, okay. So I think he's worried that he's remembering things differently than. I don't know what he's worried about, but I think it would be a good idea for you to call him.
Do you see the mannequin over there wearing that slop that your friend wore into here? Do you see that mannequin right there? I would have a better conversation, more fulfilling and more engaged with that mannequin than I would with Kill. He doesn't communicate. Ever. He says nothing unless we're talking about a gun or armor or an Heaven forbid we talk about explosives, but anything beyond that, no. That ship has sailed, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Now, darling, I think I really need to get back to work, and if you would like to use this gallery opening as a way to start repairing your stream, I am sure that would be just fine. Yes, you did bring your equipment with you, I assume?
Yes, of course.
And you remember how to stream, of course?
Of course. Oh, come on.
Well, your makeup doesn't quite look ready for camera.
Okay. No, well, I'm gonna fix it now. I'm gonna fix it.
Excellent. I am going to greet the new arrivals. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to see you. Love you, darling. And then she kind of does a kiss, but doesn't kiss. Does like the cheek to cheek type of thing. Okay. So let's cut back then and let's check in on the guys. So Zatek, last we saw of you were working your way back out of the tunnels and you made it back up to the city streets. Dr. T and Kill, last we saw you had just left the embassy. Where would the two of you have gone? What do we think?
I have no idea.
Okay. What do you think, Kill?
Kill will go to one of those things that seems like you can mention. He's like, I have an upset stomach, and just like talking to little things that automate ads to you.
Okay, and so you see like a little med clinic that'll open up and it'll kind of redirect you to somewhere else to go here within Alabaster. So you could go to a med clinic for sure.
I mean,
if that's your interest.
Is it really going to hurt your feelings if I do the second scraping?
Honestly, I'm surprised you made it through the first piece. Nobody likes that cake. It's all ceremony. And listen, I gotta tell you, you have ingested so many mid-level toxins right now.
Yeah, I feel like that. How do you know those people?
We're all Nephilim. We all know each other.
I'm just gonna take that at face value.
No, it's the first time I ever met those guys.
Okay. That was really weird.
It's just how you talk to them.
Okay. I'm gonna go see about getting my stomach pumped. And
good idea. If only I had gotten around to installing that second drain, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Please don't. But I don't want to see what this happens on the second round, so I'm just gonna go get my stomach pumped right now.
While you're doing that, why don't I call the others and we'll see if we can meet up.
Okay. So we'll say everyone gets a message. We'll say Maya and Jita, maybe you get the message a little bit later because maybe you were in conversations and didn't want to be rude. Zatek, you see that Dr. T and Kill are out of whatever meeting they're in, looking to meet up. Would that be something you would want to do?
Yeah, I'd try and find them.
Okay, so Zatek, businessman. We'll say you all meet then at Kill's clinic. So the newly christened businessman Zatek Kill, and Dr. T, you're at a cure research lab, and it's a clinic. You can see there's a big lab, but there's also like a clinic, like a walk-in clinic area where basically it's like medicinal stuff, cybernetics, things like that. And that's like where there's a biotech clinic itself, like where they're doing all the development and whatever. But then there's like this annex portioned area where people can come in and get various minor procedures done. Stomach pumping, absolutely. Optical replacement, those types of things can certainly happen. Do you want do you actually need a medical roll? Do you want to heal up, or is this we're just
No, he doesn't. That was just for the fun of. Okay. He doesn't know that he wants to actually go through fully digesting all that.
Okay. All right. And so we'll say after maybe 20 minutes or so, Kill. It's a very quick process. Everything's very efficient here. You like. The efficiency of Alabaster 1 far exceeds that of some of the other places, and you're just kind of in and out. But you realize as you come out that it essentially sucked some of your funds from whatever bank account was listed as you came through, and you look and you see you now owe several corp credits, as that stomach pumping that you just took was so ridiculously overpriced here on Alabaster 1 that you are in a little bit of debt.
Still worth it.
Okay. And then we'll see Zatek, Dr. T, Kill, you're on the streets. You're outside of this clinic. Jita, you get a message, and it's Dr. T. What do you two say to each other?
Wait, who did I message again?
We'll say Jita, because we'll say Maya's in the conversation with her mom. We'll say Jita's just wandering around this art show.
Where are you at?
I'm at the Twifar art show. It's so lovely. And like she'll not just answer the question, but just tell you about all of the colors and the sculptures and all of the things that she's seeing.
Well, Kill and I had cake. He loved it. And I got us a job.
That's wonderful news. When do we need to leave for the job?
48 hours. Less than 48 hours now.
Okay. Well, that's plenty of time. I can finish being here at this gallery, yes?
Hey, we'll meet up with you.
Okay.
I've seen art once before.
And you see her starting, you definitely see the ... like she's starting to type something out to you. And then you just never see a message come through because she's tried to have this conversation before and it never goes anywhere. So it's like, if you could see her, she's furiously sighs, deletes.
Okay. So the three of you head over to the Gilded Dividends and you head up this amazingly beautiful building with reflective angular architecture. You get off on the 37th floor. You see that you are radically underdressed, just like ridiculously radically underdressed for the occasion. You see most of the people that I described before as lingering out in the foyer have started to matriculate inside. You hear music coming from in this, and you also see that there's drinks circulating, and there is an attendant at this podium right outside the entrance into this gallery, who is taking a sip from something, and as the three of you approach, nearly chokes on it. I'm sorry. Can I help you? Please say I can't.
We're here to meet our friends.
Your friends? Are they maintenance workers? I think they have some sort of office in the basement levels.
No, we're here on official Nephilim embassy business.
You're a Nephilim emissary. You are very tentacly for an emissary.
Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome.
I'm a CEO now.
You're a CEO. Oh, what is your business?
It's a text business.
It's a text business. I have not heard of that.
I'm my own employee.
What is your product or service that you offer?
We buy flesh bots.
You could have called it Boars and More.
You buy flesh bots. And this is somehow connected to Deo's art because...
Oh, it's not, but...
well,
I'm just
and what
really
is your-
excited about it.
What is your name?
Zatek.
Your name is Zatek, and the name of
Yeah.
your business is Zatek's business. Oh,
Yeah.
Zhou, you are just... Let me see if you're on the invitation. I'm
And this
sorry.
might be one of those times that Jita just appears out of nowhere, like she does with the girl all the time. And
Okay.
so, like, she sort of pops up, like, right behind him. Oh, it's the rest of the group.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, this is so
Oh, my God.
exciting.
And he spills water everywhere on his, like, this panel.
Oh, you should clean that up. That is not
Oh my goodness.
that's
I
unacceptable.
got it, and I'll step in it and just kind of absorb it through my
what?
feet.
You know, if you're spilling
look.
water
Thank
that
you.
much,
It's
you may have
acceptable again.
a leak.
A leak.
When was the last time someone did a full examination on your oral cavity?
And I have my monthly, as always. Part of
No,
the
it's
perks
fine.
of
Just go
working
ahead and
at the
open up.
guild.
I'll take a quick
What?
look.
No,
no,
I'm
Dr. T,
quite fine.
Dr.
Oh,
T.
please, no, put the tentacles away. Tentacles
T.
away. Oh, dear God.
Dr. T. So yes, I've met Mrs. Tianyu,
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Maya's inside. Yes.
Gil, your
and
ex
she's
is
just-
here.
Yep,
Gonna just look
I'm
at
not.
this
I'm
young
clearly
man.
not properly dressed. I'm so sorry. I should see myself out.
No, it's fine. Come on. She's going to want to see you. You two made a beautiful child together, and it's time for a reunion.
I'm sorry? You
you
He's looking
you
at
did
you,
not hear
you
that information does
made a
not leave
child with Sanfi
your ears.
Tianyu? Oh,
No.
Nope.
oh my
This
goodness.
information
Gets
did-
up.
did-
You can see they start pulling out what looks to be like some sort of stream camera, and it's like booting up like they're ready to do. Hi, everyone. Guess who it is? It's your good friend Antonio, and I have the
Cheetah's gonna
morning
stick her
dish
face
this
in
afternoon.
front of his.
What?
Hi.
Oh, good.
Hi.
Oh,
Surprise
God.
dental checkup.
Oh God. No. Oh no.
We're gonna make sure the stream does not go off.
Oh.
Dr.
I have
T,
Zatek,
give me...
and I have a business. I buy flesh bots.
Dr. T, roll a medicine test as Zatek grabs this floating drone. It does an advertisement for Zatek's business.
So nuts.
This is going perfectly. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Oh, God. Oh
You
no.
got an 18.
You get an 18. Okay,
Of course you
unexpected
did.
consequence. You shoot a tentacle like right at this guy's mouth, right? And as you do, like it just sort of connects. His head just sort of slams into what is now the stationary drone, and then he kind of just collapses in place as you just unintentionally just knock this guy out, and he just kind of crumples to the floor like some beautiful little coat. 18 is ridiculously good. As he crumples, and now there's no attendant here, and he just falls down. What would you all like to do?
Bye, and I'll hang up on the.
All that on camera, of course. But
Yeah.
he just
I'd like
assaulted.
to think Zatek sort of pulled it towards
Antonio.
him, so then there's just sort of things happening off to the side that is slightly
God.
unclear, except for the sound of the body hitting the floor.
Yeah.
So you're here, and we might want to take the back ways around. There is a private room that.
No, I mean
Mrs.
there's an entranceway. There's like an entranceway. Like you were pulled like literally into like the back. Like she dragged you somewhere else. So
I know the way. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
okay, so we'll say as you go in, and Maya, you'll probably at this point be circulating as well. You can see that the gallery itself is extremely and exorbitantly extravagant. You can see there's really high ceilings with these like exposed, polished metal beams, like every which way, some of which seems to be hanging some of the artwork and lighting. You can see there's like this large floor to ceiling windows that's allowing in natural light from the exterior of the space station. You can see there's a variety of like these interactive like holographic displays next to each one of these art pieces. Otherwise, it's like very minimalist white walls, contrast, very vibrant artwork here and there. You can see like suspended from those exposed beams or these different sculptures, these like kinetic, moving, rotating, casting all these shadows here and there. You see that there's like a bar and a refreshment area where there's all sorts of drinks that are being ordered, or and people can kind of go up and take their own food. There is a stage on the other side where it appears to be a live musical ensemble playing a bunch of pulse fusion music, and you can see that there is this woman, this Twyfar, colorful, kind of pinks and oranges that are kind of circulating here and there. You can tell that she's wearing the fanciest and most regal looking set of mechanical coveralls you've ever seen in your life. And you can see like all of her like tattoos are kind of showing on the sides, like on her, like she's got her hair shaved on the sides, tattoos down her arms, all sorts of things, and occasionally like twinkles of light. And she seems to be engaging with various people. Like there's all these different displays. You can see advertisements popping up. Attendees are clearly, it looks like a mix of like corporate folk and like art aficionados. You pass by, you hear these ridiculously pretentious conversations. You can see like these little displays with the most prosaic and most like exorbitant, ridiculous titles of things. Like one, like you pass by, is Eternal Maelstrom of Forgotten Epochs and Shattered Memories. And you see this massive sculpture that you have to literally move around to get further into the gallery. And it's essentially, you would notice, it's salvaged engine parts. It's just salvage engine parts, like kind of stacked up and repurposed. These looks like ancient, almost rusty tech pieces and such. You can see these all are kind of like intricately welded together, and there's like this spiraling vortex, and it almost looks to some degree like a city landscape, or excuse me, a cityscape as you pass by. And you all can see like there's Maya circling around, probably got her drone out, kind of doing this and that. And there's Sanvi as well, and she looks pretty damn amazing. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing here at this art guy? I didn't expect all of you to be here, but what are you guys going to do?
We're here.
Rita is just absolutely like, kind of you couldn't scrape her jaw off the floor kind of a thing. Like it's been a minute since she's kind of been able to see another Twyfar's art. And so she is just like, everything is just wonderful and delightful and colorful, and kind of that combination of like metal working and colors that she loves. And so if any of the rest of the crew are around her, she's just constantly like elbowing them, and like that's the like favorite thing that she sees. And then the next thing she's like elbowing them again, and like that's her new favorite thing. And so she's just like, get in a candy shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is pretty cool.
Zatek could also be. Oh, sorry.
I mean, I can't imagine how hot they got to make the welding change the colors on the metal like they did that there. That's actually
isn't the craftsman? It's just top notch. I'm so jealous, and if I could ever do something like this someday, it's just Oh my gosh, look at that though.
Yep,
oh my gosh, that's even better.
Finding obvious distraction to avoid the elephant in the room.
I like that it's all made out of trash.
Very much trying to get a hold of Dale, like she's trying to talk to Dale.
Okay. Go ahead and give me we'll say persuasion roll. Difficulty 14, as she is definitely mingling. Jita, give me a D6 roll. Just roll a D6 and tell me what you roll. I spent far too much time coming up with really pretentious art exhibits and displays. 2. So yes. You're standing as like you're like the new thing that you're obsessed with is something that's just called feather. And it's this vibrant, multicolored bird that seems to be made up of like these repurposed circuit boards, these fiber optics, a bunch of broken screens, wings that light up and flutter and move, and it's hanging down from one of those rafters above and kind of moving kinetically. You can see like there's this ever-changing pattern of like lights and colors that are going around here and there, and you can hear like these people who are just drinking, and they have like these long stand kind of champagne glasses that are just sort of talking about it here and there. And you realize that Jita, like feather is an acronym. It's like not even the name of it, it's just sort of an acronym because it's written a little differently. And that's kind of what you're assessing over right now as everyone's lingering around.
And so Cheetah, like seeing this, she sort of like pulls Zatek's, like what she imagined would be the elbow of Zatek, and just sort of like pulls Zatek over. Would you look at this? Look at the repurposing of all of that. Isn't that so beautiful?
It's one way to make use of it. It's prettier than it just sitting there.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And she's just that's so I love it. I love it. I love it. We have things. I could do this. I could do this. And then she just sort of trails off in this like excited
Lots of trash on the ship.
We do. We could trade it. We could trade it for things, or I could make things like this with it, and it would be great. And her voice is just sort of like jumping an octave, and you see sort of the glow, like she has that Farron glow, but it's like pretty radiant at this particular moment in time because she's like super hyped.
What else are you supposed to do with it?
Well, so anything that I do is on the ship, and so it has to have a function and it has to have a purpose. But this is the purpose. The purpose is to be here and to be beautiful, and it doesn't have to serve another purpose other than its beauty. And that's
you hear a throat clear and a voice say, "Actually, it symbolizes resilience and the transformative power of technology, echoing the Phoenix Symphony's ideals while highlighting the fragmented nature of reality in the digital age." And you turn around, and there is Deo, and she is kind of glowing much like you, and she's just sort of like kind of flowing like she's a flower in the breeze. "But yes, it's also very pretty. Yes." And she's just constantly kind of moving around.
Beautiful. And
did you make this?
She just...
Well, my Zhou friend, it's more like it made me.
He looks insanely confused at that.
Aren't you a very cute one?
I am so very delighted to be able to make your acquaintance. I'm Cheetah.
Yes.
This is lovely.
Wonderful, charmed. And it's at this point, Maya, how'd you do on your roll?
19.
Okay, and so you are very easily, you suddenly see all of your friends, your whole crew, not just Cheetah, but there's Kill, there's Zatek, there's freaking Dr. T, they're all here, and they're all talking to Deo. Like,
the only reason
artist.
Maya doesn't face palm is she will ruin her makeup. But she looks very irritated that you're all here.
And so, what do you say as you interrupt and try to talk to Deo, who is again just flowing like she's a dandelion in the breeze?
Oh yes, I can see that. That's probably that. Is that why you chose to use that particular weld on that synth steel and that woodblock? Is to symbolize the resilience.
Well, yes, of course it is. It's really a fusion of elemental archetypes, transcending harmonic energy realms is really why.
That's incredible. I was taking a look at your what is it? I'm so sorry. The name is
Symphonic Convergence of Synthetic Temporality. Yes, it's a very interesting piece.
Actually, the
heard all those
one
words, but I don't know
behind
what they
that
mean together
on the
like
wall.
that.
Oh, stellar cartography of industrial genesis. Yes.
Yes. So that one, I was very much impressed by the melding elements in that piece as well.
Well, that piece came to me as I was traveling here. It encourages contemplation. And she's like constantly just like extending her arms here and there, just randomly stretching. Encourages contemplation of the vastness of space and the endless possibilities of exploration, while also representing the intersection of organic life and mechanical innovation. So, you might say, it is a welding of the organic and the inorganic across space-time.
Same thing I do.
Oh,
That's kind of what I am.
is it now? I thought he was just a large amorphic bacteria.
Well, I got a little piece and I'll just like pull some scrap out of myself. Like I got stuff like this in me too, and I'll put it back.
Fascinating.
It's a fusion.
I always, she's like reaches out almost like kind of fleetingly. I was always curious about using a bit of Zhou as a material within a composition. How interesting.
Well,
if you were to detach a piece of yourself, would you feel pain?
No, but it might.
Ah. So, when a piece of you is detached, it is a separate entity unto itself.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
if it has enough size.
Wonderful. I've learned so much. Thank you very much.
Are you Miss Deo? And I'm so sorry. I
I'm actually the
jumped straight
artist
to-
formerly known as Deo, but for the ease of communication, Deo will suffice for today.
Deo, I hate to jump to the point like this, but I know you must make the rounds, but I would appreciate if I could have some time with you privately if you do custom commission work, and
We can bring our own
perhaps
trash.
you as well.
Well,
Oh, we
if
did bring
the-
you a gift, though.
No,
Gift for me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know what these gentlemen are talking about. I am talking about specifically a commission piece specific to the ship that I'm on. Very
Well.
quite unique to or will make use of your talents potentially in a way that is a little different
Perhaps.
than what you are doing here.
If the composition strikes me, then perhaps we might negotiate a fee. However, it is not without cost.
Certainly. And now is not the appropriate time to speak
She holds up a
about it
hand.
either.
I'm sorry, something struck me. And at that point, she's like, you. And she points to the Legion.
Hmm,
Bend down, please.
sure.
Bend down. On all fours, please. Thank you. And she climbs on top of your back. And she stands so that everyone can see it. Everyone, I've been struck. And everyone just kind of turns and looks. And she's on, like, literally sitting on the top of Keel's back. She's like, a poem. A poem. Would you like to hear a poem?
Hmm.
And everyone like in the crowd's like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Kill, like,
So
Kill, you're on her
talented.
back, and you hear her like say this.
I've
and,
got
like,
my
she's just,
door now,
her heels are
obviously.
grinding into like the back. Void. Time as the efflux echoes, in the redux dimensions twist and flux, converge, entanglement, lost in the quantum dark, whispers from decoupled quarks through voids and dark marks, merge, entanglement, particles and rhyme, upend the paradigm, hear the cosmic chime. So flowing, so lusting, so sound, less silence, entangled, void. And then like she stops and like everyone kind of waits. Then all of a sudden everyone starts like snapping their fingers. You see other people are like playing like audio of like pre-recorded snapping. And she's like, thank you. It just came to me. Let me down. And so like down, boy. Yes. And then steps onto the ground.
What does it mean?
I
What does what
will
mean?
Get in touch with you. Thank
So-
you.
The poem?
Yes. One of my associates can give you my contact information. Antonio, perhaps you know him from the front?
Yes. And she will go over to Antonio to get it.
And you can see he's getting medical treatment apparently.
Oh, that reminds me. I do still have that gift for you.
Oh, gift for me, yes, Mr. Man of Tentacles.
I give her 3 of Antonio's teeth that I borrowed.
She takes it. And you can see, like, do you mention that it's Antonio's teeth?
No.
This is very generous of you, thank you.
Thanks. I picked them myself.
This one is a bicuspid.
Mm-hmm. Gotta
Oh,
get a
wonderful.
variety.
That is the best of the teeth. What is your favorite?
I had an old friend that went by the name of Cuspid, so I agree on the bicuspid.
Yes. Very powerful they are. Very powerful. I shall cherish them. Thank you. And she like finds a pocket somewhere in her overalls and like puts them into the pocket. Now, I must continue on. And she like sort of drifts and moves her arms around and kind of runs a hand across like Zatek's cheek. Goodbye, Zatek's cheek. And wanders away.
Bye.
What else are you guys doing? God damn it.
Wow.
I told Alyssa I spent the afternoon prepping the wrong things. I warned you guys. Like,
Or the right.
this is what
But
I
it
pressed.
was
Great.
useful.
I wrote a
so
stupid
happy.
fucking
got the right
beat
This
post.
is amazing.
I spent more time on that poem than I probably should have, but whatever. Anyhow,
There was
What do you
no
guys wanna do?
amount of time that was too much for that poem.
Mhm. was
what do you
pretty
guys? What do you guys want to do? You
I've got to
heals.
get her contact details because
No problem.
Daphne and I don't.
Oh yeah. I know what we're doing. Yeah, no worries. Okay.
But essentially, I think after that, she's going to, Maya's going to very specifically be looking, because she knows her, like, the guest list at this thing is probably like senior brass from
Sure.
different corps. So she's specifically looking for Conroy Body.
Conroy Body?
Count.
Let's see if he would be here. I don't know if he actually would be here. I have a list of some
Or
folks who
his
would be
people.
here. Oh, I'm sure there's someone from Body Count here for sure. Yeah, there's probably like a senior executive here, but not necessarily like themselves. So if you want to roll like it could be a wealth, probably give me a wealth test because that's probably what'll get you access to someone instead. Let me know how you do. Higher the better.
14.
Okay.
Just,
You satisfied?
14?
Are you satisfied with
Sorry.
14? That'll be a regular success. Are you satisfied? You good? Okay.
You know what? No, I'll grit that. Why the
Okay.
hell not?
Okay.
16.
Okay. 16.
Nice.
So that'll
A
that will at the
better.
very least get you. You'll as you're moving around, you're doing some basic filming. You're taking little video of each of the displays. Eventually, you will be directed to, like, if you ask around and you try to do these little interviews, some people are very hesitant to do it because, like, they immediately recognize you, like your face, and they're like, oh. And some of them will ask, like, what stream is this for? What outfit are you working with? Oh, goodness. Like when you mentioned, like, Divine Mocha. But you do eventually find yourself speaking with the most senior executive here that appears to be like with that court, and it's a man by the name of Reginald Dare. I think it's no, I'm sorry. I gave you the wrong one. Maria Helios. No, I keep giving you the wrong one. That's not the right one either. Sorry, I'm giving you the wrong names.
That's okay.
I'm giving you totally the wrong names. You said Body Corp, right?
Body count, yeah, New
Body count.
And Connor Murray is New York, so just some.
Yeah, Conrad Bai's not going to be here. Okay. Sure. We'll go with Lena Soul. So you find a woman by the name of Lena Soul. She is dressed very professionally looking. You can see the perfect balance of just like this delightful kind of it's a business suit. You can see kind of the power shoulders and such. You can see these little light, like kind of bioluminescent like linings for the threads. Very dark coloring to kind of distinguish her from the help within this place. Like all the waiters, waitresses, etc., are dressed in like more white clothing, and when you try to push for like an interview, like their handler kind of gets in your way a bit, but eventually like it's relented as like your name, like not Divine Mocha, but the Dianyu name kind of comes out. And she'll turn, you have 30 seconds. Make them quick, please. Go.
Miss, so I have heard and I'm very happy to have heard about the rebranding that Oakland incorporated for body count, and I think I could offer similar value. I'd really like to speak with your people about perhaps getting some time to work on any new services you have, especially about corpse backups.
We're not in the habit of reparation projects. I have seen the incident today. You seem to have put quite a large foot in your mouth. And now you want us to assist you? Exactly what benefit do you bring to such an arrangement?
If you want someone who will not take risks, then you should not do the kind of work that you're already doing. But I feel like the Divine Milk brand is one that aligns with the Body Count brand and will assist you with that bottom line, specifically because of the risk taking and the authenticity therein.
Authenticity and risk taking. Is that what was running through your mind when you acted the fool in the lobby of Octanto headquarters this morning?
Unfortunately, that was a mistake that will not be repeated. But
will such mindless, brazen mistakes be the type of behavior we might expect to see if you were wearing some of our branded materials?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Roll a persuasion test, and this is going to be a very high DC. So I'm going to say this is going to be a 16. So you're going to need a 16 to just get your foot in the door.
Okay.
Oh, come on. We're keeping our mouths shut and just reacting silently.
Dr. T is sticking tentacles in her ears. Quick, what the hell is that? Someone has a pet in here. Why is...
17 with the grid. Grid got me a 17.
She looks at you. Provide Theron here with your contact information and your upcoming plan for streams. If there is perhaps something within your portfolio that aligns with our upcoming products and services, perhaps we can find some entry-level engagement, short-term, with no promise for continuance.
Thank you, miss. Thank you. You will not be disappointed.
Oh, I'm sure I will. And then she turns and she walks away, and like Theron comes over and kind of takes your whatever, stream number, stream identification, and whatever plans that you want to give. And basically you have ability to communicate with Theron. Okay. So Maya's off trying to save her career. Anyone else doing anything at this place?
Marketing.
Zatek, what does marketing look like? Zatek, what does marketing look like for you?
I'm looking for anyone that has Fleshbot's baby. I don't know like how common they are around.
There's no Fleshbots.
I don't know if they're like workers or something like that here. Like
they're not. No, there are actual people workers. Like there are relatively like the people who are serving you drinks probably have more money than you guys. Like you eat. Like they're probably much wealthier than you. It's just sort of the way it worked. If you're looking for flesh bots, you're more than likely to find them on the Stink, which is like the Pinnacle Fuel stuff, and like they're industrial. They're like more industrial workers and things like that. Which isn't to say you might not be able to find a representative of Flesh Inc. I will say you will need to roll a wealth test for this.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm fantastic.
Okay.
Are you minus two like I am? Yeah.
Goodness.
While you're rolling that, I'm just going to throw this out there. Jita is so mad at Maya for asking another Twyfar to do art for the ship.
And then you will be very pleasantly
That is going to be a thing.
Don't go near the airlocks. How did you do?
So, I got a 4, and
You've been spending a grit. You had a 4.
Okay.
I used all of my grit.
You ask around.
Actually, I have one more grit. Let's do that.
We also have
I
so
got
many audience grits.
Oh
How many?
You could roll
No,
a few
let
times.
let the floor ride.
At a certain point, you just gotta let it. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a 4.
How'd you do? A 4.
Also, I double fail because of my one thing. But I double succeed and I double fail when I'm off by 4.
So you failed twice? Or is it just like even worse?
Yeah. One of my abilities is I have one, or actually, I don't know if that's the one that makes me have a less crit roll. But
like
when I get an unexpected,
you get like 2 unexpected consequences. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good or bad, depending if I'm
no.
4 over
Well, they're
or
gonna be
4
bad.
under. Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay. You move around and you start speaking. You're like, you say something like, "Do you sell flesh pots?" or whatever it is. Like it's the most ridiculous, loud as can be. You interrupt one of our other poems, and you're just walking around and you're asking these questions, and eventually you meet with what looks like a person that listens to you, like actually talks to you. And you're going through your pitch, you're saying all these different things, how you're Zatek's business and all this kind of stuff. And they turn and they say, "You're the CEO of Zatek's business."
Yes, I'm my own employee.
Filed this morning, yes?
Yeah.
I see.
Fresh.
I see. Well, we're going to have a discussion. Do you have a legal team on staff with your business? You have a significant amount of debt in legal fees that are attributed to Zatek's business that has gone unpaid. We're going to have to work out.
Jacob should be working on that. Jacob Flint?
Is Jacob Flint an employee of yours? Financial officer?
He's he made me a business.
He made you a business. Jacob Flint. Yes. That name sounds very familiar.
His office.
Yes. One moment. And your name is
Zatek. Of Zatek's business.
How very adorable. One moment. And he kind of goes to it. Is this, and it kind of shows you an image, is this the man you know as Jacob Flint?
Does it look like him?
Yes.
Yeah, that was him. He was wearing a suit with overalls this morning.
I'm very sorry to tell you that this man is not a licensed financier and in no way, shape, or form can actually create a business for you. What in fact he has done apparently is he has siphoned over to you a significant amount of his debt, his legal fees for various illegal smuggling operations that he has been associated with, that is now no longer associated with him and is tied to Zatek's business.
But I'm not a business.
Well, apparently, as of this morning, you are? Did you sign any paperwork today?
Yeah, I signed a lot with my hand.
Did you review this paperwork? Or have one of your legal
Well, I didn't have
team
to. He just
review?
said everything that it was on it.
Oh dear. Well, Mr. Zatek, I'm afraid the debts and the fees that your business now seems ownership of, well, not in fact your business, but you, Zatek, are quite significant, and we're going to have to proceed with asset seizure. I see that you have a ship by the name of the Pos Chad. Is that correct?
No.
Are you lying to me, Mr. Zatek?
No way.
Roll a physical test. Roll a physical test. Oh goodness. Dear God. Zatek's hilarious, man. Dear God. Oh, Jesus, Joe.
Just a flat roll.
Just roll physical.
10. Can I
You
do an
wanna-
audience?
10's a fail, so you might want to do something. Yeah.
Got
Oh
it.
God.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do an audience. Hey, 15.
Oh, that's way better.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say with a 15, you turn to run away. You essentially run through this like display, one of these art displays, and everyone's like shocked. Oh no! As you can see, like this decayed monolith of urban residence is like this little display area. There's all these like different industrial, like encroded metal and these urban detritus stuff. You can see like what looks like repurposed pieces of like a container crate, the kind that they use to build like the Mispasha cities and stuff. And you just kind of like run through it, knocking it over kind of left and right.
As
and
I
people are,
crash
like,
through it,
freaking out.
I'm going to yell, "It's okay, I represent destruction."
And you just bolt out of the gallery. The man tries to follow you, but everyone's like freaking out and trying to like fix this thing that you just destroyed, and he can't get around them. And you get out of the gallery, you run past Antonio, who's still getting like medical treatment. He's like, "Well, my teeth, why am I missing teeth? I don't understand." And you just bolt. Zatek. Okay. Meanwhile, the rest of you, so Maya, you've got your negotiations. Zatek, you have a business. Dr. T or Jita or Kill, is there anything else that you want to do while at this gallery?
I mean, I was gonna go say hi to Maya's mom and ask her to forgive Kill. That way we could be a family again. But when Zatek starts running, I take the hint and I start running too.
Okay. So Dr. T just starts tentacling running over. No one's chasing you, so you don't know running necessarily, but just tentacles flying everywhere. Do you fly?
Fly anyways.
Did you
I
fly?
fly.
You
Yeah.
just start flying. It's really high ceiling, so there's just a freaking tentacle definitely just tentacles down, just flying over top. Everyone's looking up. You see, like suddenly, like Deo starts impromptu talking about some sort of poem and about the idea of like the sunset and celestial objects, and she's like kind of watching you pass, taking inspiration. And you get out and you start chasing after Zatek. And so we'll say the two of you flee. No problem. Jita or Kill? What about the two of you?
I would say that Jita had been soaking in all of this and just getting inspiration and ideas for, kind of projects that she would do. And then she overheard that conversation between Maya and Deo. And now she doesn't like Deo and she's very upset about this.
Okay.
Like, Maya's going to commission work from Deo for our ship, and this is just not okay. So she's making her way back to go get her own clothes, and she's going to leave.
All right. I'll say the last thing you pass, because I have one more, is the binary emanations and algorithmic motion. And you pass by that on your way to get your. What
does it look
essentially
like?
this ethereal flower sculpture. It's got these intricately composed, like a binary code that's etched into like super thin, like gossamer thin metal sheets. It's like interwoven with these delicate gears and levers and such. It's all like subtly illuminated with this like imbued and gentle kinetic motion flying around. It's very avant-garde. And you pass by,
Jita's
spit on it maybe.
Exactly. She's so inspired. Like, oh, that's so beautiful.
And so you spit on as you run past, and you kind of get dressed in the back. Kill, what about you?
Well, I realized I've been left all on my own. And I was initially going to try really hard to blend in. And since that's not going to happen, you'll just bite the bullet and walk up to Sono.
Okay. And she will turn and look at you, and she watches you as you start walking up, and like this impassive face as you come up to her. And there's chaos going on behind Kill as you see Dr. T flying through the sky, Zatek running all over the place, knocking over all of this different art. You can see Gina spitting on a display and running into the back here and there. You see Maya
ignoring all of them.
just covering the negotiation, trying to have a conversation on art. And there's Kill walking up to Sadvi, and she looks at you. You have a very eclectic crew.
Yep. You know, I'm no expert at how you put one of these together. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to outshine everything that you put on display when you do a gala like this.
Why, Kill? Are you complimenting me? Was that a compliment I heard?
Well, I mean, that seemed like the thing to do. It is true. I've spent a lot of years, being mostly left for dead and having invasive, mental reconstruction done. And there's a lot of things I don't remember. And there was a little bit of time I thought maybe I should come to you and try and figure all that out. And then I thought maybe instead I should just focus on what's now. And your daughter she's smart and she's brave and she's funny and she's just a wonderful person. In fact, she's my favorite person. And I know a lot of that is because of you. So I don't really know what happened before, and I'm sorry I don't, but legitimately, like, people have messed with my brain. But thank you, because I know she's amazing because that's part of you. And she's had a really bad day, so, like, if you could give her a hug, that would be great. And I think I'm just going to see myself out because I'm sure we're in a lot of trouble.
She, despite herself, she'll crack a smile. You have a wonderful way with words, Kill. So very elegant.
Yeah.
It's not like a Zhou knocking over an art display in a gallery at all. It's nothing like that whatsoever. Far more dexterous and agile.
I like the way you lie.
Your memory. You having problems? Anything in particular I should be worried about?
No,
you could tell, by the way, she's looking at you. Roll a psychology test.
Okay.
Actually, Kill. There's when she asked that, she asked it in like kind of a different tone. It's like the smile kind of goes away.
Uh-oh.
I'm actually at a 16 on that.
You get the sense that she is specifically referring to something, and almost like she's fishing to see your reaction.
So I've been trying to reconstruct things, and there's one thing I do remember. I haven't told Maya about it, but you and Tonto, that's not what's going on. No, that's not. I don't know all of it, but I want nothing but the best for you. There's nothing of that nature.
So she walks over towards you. She like puts a hand gently like right on your chest, and she kind of leans in, kind of pulls your head down. She's kind of giving you like a kiss on the cheek or something. And then she whispers into your ear, "If you want the best for me, then finish the task that you were assigned. Darcy still lives."
I really, that was what I was supposed to do. Holy
pulls
shit.
back, and like she sees your face. Oh dear. And she just kind of taps you. They really made a mess of whatever's up there, didn't they?
Yeah. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot rattling around. They can't mess up too much more.
Oh, I'm sure there's all manner of secrets that have the possibility of spilling out.
Yeah.
And be careful, because there are others who would like very much to know those secrets. And if they find out that you are available for recovery, they might take steps to, well, recover you.
I will try very hard not to be recovered.
You're not supposed to be here, Kill. You're supposed to
I feel like
take
I'm not really
Maya.
supposed to be anywhere.
She leans in. You're not listening to me. If you're not going to do the task, then you're not supposed to be here. Maya is not supposed to be here. She can't be near him. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Take her and leave wherever it is you would like to go. But don't stay here. Do you understand?
If there's anything that's going to trouble her, I'm going to get her out right now. Understood.
Oh, goodness. Dear, this is so much easier when you had half a brain.
Probably. She probably really could use that hug from you, though.
We've hugged already.
Oh, okay. Good.
Now go. Fetch your little underlings, the Twyfar, and she spit on one of the displays.
She's just jealous.
It's that symphony rivalry, I suppose.
I guess
Anyhow,
so.
it was good to see you.
It was really good to see you,
Take care of my daughter.
I think. I will. 100%. That's all I do. My favorite thing.
100%. Okay. So she taps you on the side, and then you part. We'll wrap up with Maya and her mother. Maybe you have time. You have 48 hours, so we'll say maybe you go back with your mother, like you have some time with her, etc. And everyone kind of flees and tries to get away from the gallery security, and Jita and Kill try to chase after Zatek and Dr. T. And we'll end there. We'll pick up with a new job a couple days later, next time around. Okay?
My gosh.
God damn it.
All
Zatek.
right.
What the
I'm not a business.
Oh, my heart.
Nope. I thought like you would like at least read one of them, so I was gonna give you the check to see if you could tell that it was just total bullshit, that he was literally just signing over all his debt to you.
I knew as a player it was.
I know, yeah. It was just so good. It was so funny. Oh my god, that was so awesome.
Oh,
It was
So
really
funny.
fun.
oh,
Oh,
that was
goodness.
such a great session.
Oh god damn.
I wanted to see what would happen.
Does anyone here sell flesh pots in this high-end art gallery? Damn it. Dear God. So funny. Anyhow.
Oh my god.
All right. So we'll pick up next time. Probably we'll get on the ship and we'll get moving out. We'll go to something else. We could do whatever final business we need to. But otherwise we'll pick up with the Nephilim Deacon Ottawa going onto your ship. Like that's a big deal. Got to get a big deal on your ship. Big deal. This is Ottawa, Saskatoon, Winnipeg, maybe some others. I have a whole list. I have a very long list of
So
potential.
happy.
It's ridiculously
I'm so
long.
happy.
I'm like, that's not a town. That's a lot. It's got to be a town. Oh no, it's a town. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. Weirdos. Happy birthday, Canada. All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
Or whatever it is. Let's do some closing plugs and then we will get on out of here. We'll start. Chuck, Joe, what's going on with Defenders of Cobalt?
Yes. What do we got? Wednesday, we got some Night Below using DCC. Friday, we've got some Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And then Saturday, we got Chained Coffin. That sounds right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. Maitre, tell us where we can find you on the internet.
I am Matthew Plays Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic tabletop content that centers the GM and player experience that you should check out if you want to check that kind of thing out.
Fantastic. As for us, what do we got going on? Tomorrow night, we're back for Frontier Scum. If you want to see some more acid Western stuff, Steven's back. And so we're going to get back to that. I think we're probably going to we might even be finishing up that adventure. We're pretty close anyway. Thursday, we're off. No Simbaroom because it is America's birthday. And it's going to be too loud outside because we like to blow shit up on our birthday. which makes sense, honestly. So yeah, no Simbroom this week. Friday, however, we are back with Delta Green. Saturday, we're back with Call of Cthulhu. And next Monday, you can see most of this crew. We're going to switch out Joe for Adam, and we're going to be back to Alien. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching this later. Listen to this later if you're catching it on VOD or on podcast. We're going to go ahead and raid Happy Jack's RPG. So have a great rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out. Go buy Fragged Empire. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.